No one has asked me to make this video, but I'm making this video to kind of explain to myself and maybe explain to others who might know me and be coming across these videos and be thinking, oh, why are you making these videos all of a sudden? You're just kind of talking online, you know, you're doing that whole thing. So I am a believer that you need to cultivate, you need to create the future that you want for yourself, right? And there's a massive opportunity online. It's undeniable. Massive opportunity with social media, content, all of this. Now, I'm never going to be an influencer, right? But I am somebody that, is involved in marketing, involved quite heavily in digital marketing and all of that. I have a job. However, my job doesn't really define me, you know what I mean? And there are a lot of opportunities that can come off the back of just growing an audience on YouTube. For example, like what I've written down in my list of things to do, which is not this, but I'm going to hold up this piece of paper, pretend this is my list of things that I want to achieve in my life, is kind of like a future where I make money very passively, through things like property and all of that. But also sort of like a future where I can kind of step back, which I'm kind of in that process of doing at the moment. So if you don't know, before I used to do a lot of like camera operating work within my agency and just kind of like, freelance and whatever would come about, I take it. I used to do a lot of weddings. I used to do a lot of corporate event sort of stuff. Now I work with my few clients on a retainer sort of basis, and some of them on a commission basis as well. So that's all good. But I would love a future where you just book me to kind of like talk, or I do a bit more consulting, just giving advice to companies, founders, brands on what they can do to kind of like increase their earning potential online through digital marketing, through things like YouTube, through things like whatever they need for their business. So essentially, in essence, that's why I do this. Also, I need to put myself out there. For a long time, I have been the invisible marketer. So I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes, working with a lot of companies, handling their marketing operations and all of that. And what I found is that, if the relationship comes to a close, which it has done on a few occasions now, I'm just kind of left without anything off the back of that, because I wasn't like recording myself. I wasn't, making videos of me doing the work. I was just doing the work for them. And because I work as an independent contractor, they're not really trying to promote me. So I do a lot of promoting for them. And, whilst we're in that relationship, I'm absolutely good to do that. That's what we agreed to do. But it does feel a certain way when things dry up, and that quiet firing still exists. Like, even when you're an independent contractor, the person you're working with can just stop all communications, no emails, no more work, just silence. And it's a killer. It's a killer. And thank God that I have other clients that I can work with, and other clients that I can keep myself afloat. Because these companies, they don't care. These companies, corporate companies, these companies that are trying to whatever, they will just throw you under the bus and replace you for somebody cheaper and worse in many cases. So whatever, we keep it moving, we keep it pushing. But I don't want to keep putting myself in that position. So my answer to that is to create somewhat of a personal brand for myself, where I talk on certain things, give my take on certain things. Most of it will have sort of like a marketing, will have like a marketing sort of like positioning to it, so it won't just be me ranting on certain things. I was heavily involved in energy, and I still am. So energies, EVs, solar energy providers, and all of that sort of stuff. So I'll still create content on that. but I want to open it up to more like service providers. So like if you're a plumber, if you're a painter, if you're mostly within the trades, electricians, blah, 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 then I can provide sort of like marketing know-how within those sorts of areas. I mean, I'm interested in that whole construction side of things, built environment side of things. So yeah, that's really why I'm doing it, to build an audience, to create my own sort of like brand and sort of a thing that people will see my face and attach me to something else. So that would be pretty cool. And also just to kind of add another revenue stream. Eventually these YouTube videos will be monetized. I know I'm on 24 subscribers as of today, the date of this filming. I'm on 24 subscribers, 68 videos, but I'm just going to keep going and grow that. And also, you know, when I'm pitching my ideas to clients, I can also show them my stuff and show them how I've done this for my business and how I can do that for their business as well. So it's also a point of reference, some more proof of like my concept as well. But bear in mind, I have been kind of growing, like, especially one of my clients' YouTube pages, you know, they're getting like thousands, tens of thousands of tens of thousands of views on videos and all of that. And people are finding them in all sorts of different ways now. So it has been working for years, but I've just been doing it for other people and not for myself. And I think with that is the lesson. It's all good doing stuff for other people, but please, please, please remember yourself in the process, because, you know, it's not promised, you know, it's not promised that you'll still be working with this client that they might hold you to a high regard today, but then tomorrow it's like, you know, conversations are happening behind closed doors and things are changing. And I'm telling you, they don't, you know, I'll give one example. Working with this client, have worked with the owner in another company before, so have a bit of rapport. Anyway, worked with, launched a business in the UK, worked with him in this company, all going well, all going well. Then as they expand to different territories, other people get involved, and all of a sudden, not getting any work anymore, no communications, followed up, no communications. And at this point, it's just awkward, because I also let him know that, you know, my partner was giving birth. Now, that's not something to kind of like, oh, my partner's giving birth, therefore you can't like remove me or you can't do anything. No, but I just thought because we had a little bit of a relationship before, I could tell him something sensitive like that, and he'd take that into consideration and let me know if he was really gonna just stop communicating with me. And I hope he sees this, because he's a waste man for that. So like, if he sees this, you're a waste man. Message me about it, call me about it, whatever. It's not like I'm getting work from you anyway, so like whatever. That's just the beauty of kind of working for yourself. You can call out this rubbish, and it is rubbish. Like, call it out. You're a waste man. Keep it moving. We don't work together anyway, so yeah, man, respect is respect. And like, if somebody just takes the mick like that, especially during a very sensitive time in your life like that, then, and you feel a way about it, like, why can't we call it out? Why can't we call it out? I'm calling it out right now. So, waste, man. Anyway, so those are the reasons why I have started my YouTube channel, why I'm uploading more videos. Also, last one, just to throw in there, just to grow more confidence. I'm not the most confident speaking. I know that when I used to work within a 9 to 5 setting as well, I wasn't really given a lot of opportunities to kind of like, it's sort of like those, you know, I was a content lead in my last job, but like speaking engagements, talking on stages and all of that sort of thing, that was really reserved for like heads of departments and all of that thing. I definitely felt confident enough to do it, but that opportunity would just never come down the pipeline to someone like me. So yeah, like, you know, be the captain of your own ship, and you can, you know, create those opportunities for yourself. So anyway, all of that is working towards that, and hopefully working towards a retirement where I can do this more like as a consulting thing more than like actually, and then operate a business rather than ever like having to hold a camera again or like photograph again or actually do any manual work. As I get older, I'm finding myself less interested in that sort of that side of the business, which is funny because I never thought there'd be a time where I'd be less interested in cameras. But you know, when I hear people talking about camera gear and you know all of that and just keeping up with the Joneses, and they know everything about every single camera, and I don't really care anymore. I'm not really in that market anymore. I've been there. I have nice cameras. You know, I've had nice things, and now I just want to be on the other side of it. Like, how can we achieve these results? And like, what is my future actually going to look like? You know, am I going to be working for someone well into my 60s? No, I'm not. You know, by then, I imagine that I would have grown this to at least 100,000 subscribers. I'm in my 30s now, so I've only got 30 years to do it. So yeah. Anyway, this is just a quick video. No one asked for it, but I'm letting people know. If anyone asks me why I'm creating all these videos, I'll just send them this video and hopefully it will explain, and yeah, they can just ignore that part where I'm calling somebody out, but hopefully they hear the deeper message, which is you know, it's about me kind of taking ownership of my life, even further, creating new avenues of revenue, putting myself out there, growing in confidence, and yeah, just adding another string to my bow. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.